It's the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. I'm Steve Kirkland, Matt Breland, and Joe Federley. We're having to tell
we couldn't believe
Joe who Doc Severinsen is.
I've heard the name.
The band leader for The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
So it was Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
So
but I didn't know that Doc sang. I thought he was just a trumpet horn player. I didn't know he was a singer too.
Yeah.
So interesting. And singing with Randy Asher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. So he wasn't the Ed McMahon. He was the announcer of it. He was the original.
He was the band director. Correct. Yeah.
Did he last all the way until '92 when Johnny Carson retired?
He did. Yes.
So I remember that guy. I forget. I guess that's why I know the name.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I'm glad we could teach you something.
Kevin Eubanks. I remember Kevin Eubanks with Jay Leno. Kevin Eubanks was Jay Leno's. So he's you not only realize what a cool enterprise the Tonight Show is, but the band leader is also well known. He was a celebrity in his own right, and he was singing with Randy Asher.
Exactly.
We all knew Randy Asher could sing.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I love this setup here with. It looks just like something out of T-Bar V. It looks like one of our set pieces from downstairs. So the Crusade is also carrying along our old Western roots.
Our Cowboy Poet will be with us here in just a few minutes to give us some more poetry and cowboy
stories.
In
the studio. That's fake.
When I first got here this evening, the garage door was open. It was so humid outside. And I came in here and I told Danny, I said, man, you're going to turn that fire off. I said, I am sweating in here. But it has cooled down. It is much better. 3:46 on Crusade Sunday morning. I'm Steve Kirkland with Matt Breland and Joe Federley. 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511 is how you can be a part and change a child's life for the better this Crusade Sunday morning.
Yeah, if you're spending your early morning with us. And also remember, there's always you can donate. Venmo, Cash App. There's a QR code on your screen that you're able to scan. That takes you immediately to the donation website. So there's all ways that you can donate. And if you have over $100, a security deputy will make sure that the sheriff deputy will come and grab that tomorrow.
We definitely have to pay credit to this person. Thomas, is that
Collins?
Collins, I
believe.
$500. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
This is awesome.
It's in memory of...
it's in memory of Albert and Alberta.
Yep.
For the PRP firefighters.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
You got another one there?
$500. This is Suzanne Roniger.
Yep.
For $50. And she went to St. Matthew's. We were just talking about them.
Yeah.
We saw that really cool moment from 50 years ago. They were on there telling us how to spell St. Matthew's.
Yep.
And this is from Herb and Stephanie Slimmons for $50. I mean,
every penny counts.
This is the reason why this is what it is.
Right.
Because of these people committing this money to us. It's so awesome that they do. $100. Ma Shang and Nancy Shin.
Yep.
$100. Thank you. Another $100. Linda S. Horlander.
And that's in memory of Mike Horlander. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And this is toward the Jeffersonville Fire Department. That's a good thing. If you call and you say, I want this to go toward the Crusade, because give the credit to this fire department they will make sure that fire department gets the credit.
Well, now's a good time to mention, too, if you donate in Southern Indiana, the money that you donate for the Crusade for Children stays in Southern Indiana. If you donate in Kentucky, it stays in Kentucky to help the kids with special needs there.
I believe it stays in the actual county.
I think you're right, yes.
For all 120 counties in Kentucky and all 50 in Southern Indiana, it stays in that. I mean, that's how localized it is. They have more detailed effort to make sure everything's right with the Crusade than we spend time enough thinking about it. I mean, they put so much thought into making sure it's as fair and right as possible. And that's one of the reasons why we love the Crusade.
Yeah.
You got some more?
This is Phyllis Spears in honor of Joseph Spears. This is for Camp Taylor. And that's for $100. Yep. And this is for $100 as well. Betty Boyd. And this is for Bowling Green Fire Department. That's a trek away. Right. And this is David Cash for $50. Thank you, Mr. Cash, for the cash. And in honor
of Brenda.
Barbara Cash.
Barbara, thank you.
Barbara Cash. And for Arlene Burton, gave $100 in memory of his son Wayne Morin. Thank you so much, Arlene.
And keep it coming, folks. We're here all through the rest of the morning
right.
time. Really
Now,
pushing through.
if you're really looking forward to seeing the grand finale,
Yeah.
what are you looking forward to hearing?
Well, God bless America, of course.
You know, the cool thing about that is that it transcends decades here. You can see any crusade practically, and it ends with the same thing. It's a great tradition. And it was June of 2023, after the crusade ended, I said, let's do something where we show the whole song, but in the course of the song, you travel forward in time 7 decades. I put this together. This is a special God Bless America tribute I did that shows, you'll see the juniper on the tote board transition to the phone number. And I mean, you'll go from seeing Memorial Auditorium to this room, the Crusade for Studio H. You'll see all sorts of different changes throughout the decades. Enjoy.
Take a look.
Beside her and guide her
through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home.
God bless America, my home sweet home. Good night from the WHAS Crusade for Children. $6,232,176.70. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
And that will be the scene in this very room.
Right.
At about 6:57. The cast of thousands will gather and sing God Bless America. The words are already up on the wall there
don't
for
think that's
anybody
all
who
the
needs
verses.
them. So I think they just sing them. So,
You know, it's sometimes if you're in the wrong location, a light blocks you. You have to look it up on your phone, I guess.
well,
But,
I think
yeah,
most people
Shay
know
will-
God Bless America.
Yeah,
so,
you're
you know.
right. Shay will be there. Terry will be there. I'm normally here. Yeah, it's always a fun when the confetti comes off. It's the coolest thing.
Confetti's always fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It scares some people though,
Right.
but it's a good thing.
Well-
Crusade Sunday.
Joe, you took us through the 75th Crusade Vault. You took us back to 1975. And
We went back to the future to 1985.
Then you took us to 85, and you took us to the first Crusade with a little Phyllis Knight
Yeah. That was
narration
really
over some
interesting.
film. That was very
Yeah.
cool. And then
the old
you have rounded us out with the 70th, the Crusade, God Bless America through
Yeah.
through the decades.
Yeah.
So,
What a legacy to be a part of. We're so thankful to be here.
oh, and you found Mallory's mom as a Crusade queen. So
right.
that was
awesome.
special. So.
Yeah, I mean, how perfect is that? She's the Crusade Queen. Who would have ever thought that years from then,
Right.
her daughter
would
would grow
be.
up to be the chief meteorologist?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's the beauty of it. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of like just our city. You
Yeah.
know, like the Louisville community, we're so close knit like that. I just love
Yeah.
that.
And it's a testament to Mallory and her mom. It's not just a beauty pageant because we work with her. We know it's beauty inside and out.
Exactly.
And it's just, we're very happy she's with us, and all these people who help us every year. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely
we
it
do
is.
a lot of time, we spend a lot of time looking back when we're looking at the vaults to see all the great things, but the real magic and the beauty of it is that we're continuing on every year. It's the 72nd year.
Yeah.
This isn't something that we're sitting around, oh, remember the really cool thing that HAS used to do? We're part of the present and future.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me so invigorated. So it's not just the past, it's right now. Thank
Yeah.
you for making this happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you being here. And we want you to continue to be a part of it. Keep watching. We've got more great past Crusade performances coming up. But you continue to call and help change a child's life, because that's what this evening is all about, this morning and the rest of the day. 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511. And we, this year, have had the addition of having Danny Lee Barry with us. He's the Cowboy Poet. And Danny, you've got some more stories for us?
I got some more.
All right, take it away.
Let's
I
hear
got
him.
lots of them. This is fast becoming a favorite. It's rather recently written, but it's one of my favorites, and people seem to like it. This is entitled Joe's Old Saddle. All the cattle are gone. All the drives are over. Not a soul around, not a single drover. So many memories of this place. Looking back, I can see every face. Dusty, who always had a joke. Never had any makings, always bummed his smokes. An old fella called Chappie. Never had a smile, but never seemed unhappy. And Gimpy, who could hardly walk because he had bad feet. But when he was horseback, he was tough to beat. Not much left here now. The houses all fell down. Cyclone took the bunkhouse. The barn is all still around. Inside the barn, more memories come to mind. Countless horses have been through here, colors of every kind. One late winter, an albino filly was foaled. It was touch and go. Almost lost her to the cold. But looking around this barn, the memory, meaning most to me, comes to mind when a worn old saddle I see. I was just a kid when I came to this ranch. No one wanted me here, no one gave me a chance. Except for one old cowboy who taught me all I know. The man who shaped my life. The man we knew as Joe. God only knows the miles he rode, the thousands of cattle he drove and sold. How he wore down that leather, riding day and night in all kinds of weather. And no one was better at handling a horse with a touch as light as a feather. He loved life and people, treated everyone fair. No matter your problem, he always seemed to care. His wisdom was uncanny, by many it was sought. I'm so grateful for all the things he taught. I'm blessed that with me, Joe freely shared his life. And still today, his memory is comfort in times of strife. So looking back over many years ago, when I see that old saddle, I always remember Joe. This one is simply called The Hat by the Trail. And quick story for this one, we were trail riding at Clark State Forest at Henryville, excuse me, and there was an old hat in the bushes kind of off the trail. It had been there a while, it was pretty bad shape. So I got to thinking about that hat, where it came from, what the history was, and I came up with this poem, The Hat by the Trail. I was riding up to Cheyenne, the sun was going down, when I noticed by the trail a hat on the dusty ground. Pulled up, got off my horse and knelt down on one knee. It seemed so out of place, such an odd place to be. It was beyond use, being all weathered and worn. The crown was all crushed in and around the brim was torn. Perhaps some bareheaded cowboy now rides a distant trail, looking somewhat out of place, like a ship without a sail. An outlaw could have lost it, all in a desperate run. Or maybe some young buckaroo while having reckless fun. Had it been lost in a stampede on some long cattle drive, and the puncher that wore the hat didn't make it through alive. A comrade could have left it, as if to mark the grave of a friend he said goodbye to, whose life he could not save. I thought that might be true and tried to see his face and prayed that he now rested in God's amazing grace. There could be 100 reasons how that hat came to be. I wondered who else had seen it, or was it only me? I never touched that old hat, nor knew from where it came. The thought others may choose to ponder, and left it just the same. I'll do one more for you, and then I'll throw it back to Steve. Excuse me. This one I wrote just for the ladies. So if there are any cowgirls out there, I think you'll appreciate this one. It's called the Bronc Stomper. Well, roundup time was coming soon, and we had a new string to break. Things were going pretty good, but one mare had our honor at stake. A new young hand had just showed up. He was slim and soft on his feet. A right odd-looking cowpoke. His clothes were way too neat. Well, after watching three fellas hit the dirt, he said, "I'll show you how it's done." So we told young Skinny to mount up. I thought this would be great fun. Well, there wasn't no way he could ride, being so small in stature. Heck, it'd be some great feat if he could even catch her. So he grabbed a rope and hopped the fence with surprising speed and ease. And quick as a wink, he swung a loop, and that mare was on her knees. Before she caught her breath, young Skinny was in the saddle. He grabbed the lead, spurred her up, and then began the battle. That mare blew like dynamite and jumped 7 ways from Sunday. The more she bucked, the tighter he stuck, and his ride was more than dandy. Well, it wasn't long till the mare gave out. Young Skinny had rode her down. None of us knew what to think. We all just stood and frowned. He got off that horse, shed his hat and coat. What we saw then shocked us all. Our hearts jumped to our throats. Well, ain't no wonder young Skinny appeared a little shady. Turns out he wasn't a he at all, but a right good-looking lady. So be careful who you challenge to give a bronc a whirl, because the next rider to stomp a bronc might just be a girl. Thank you. Take it, Steve.
Thank you, Danny. It's Danny Barry. He's our cowboy poet, and he's with us for the rest of the morning. So we're glad he's here. Thanks for sharing. We're here.
That was a good one.
Coming
Got a
up.
kick out of
I
that.
like that. I like that a lot.
That's a favorite of the ladies.
I bet.
They love it.
I bet. All right, we are about 4:02 on your Crusade Sunday morning. I'm Steve Kirkland along with Matt Breland. You're watching Crusade on WHAS11 Louisville and listening on News Radio 840 WHAS Louisville right here in Louisville, Kentucky. I think I've said Louisville plenty of times. I think we've got the legal ID out of the way. We want you to continue to be a part of the Crusade by calling 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511. And we can read a few of these pledges here.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to start your Sunday morning, too? You know?
Exactly.
Let's see. We have a donation of $100 here,
Nice.
Steve. Kenny Lee, $100.
And that's
that is
for the kids. That's great.
That is for the kids. That's
great.
what it's all for.
If you donate $100 or more, we'll send a sheriff's deputy out to your house later today to pick that donation up. Barbara Baker donated $100 to the WHAS Crusade for Children.
And Norma Etheridge, $50, and in memory of Peyton Presley.
And here's $72 in honor of the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children, Peggy and Chris Ryan, and that's in memory of Ethel and Ray Schmidt. Thank you so much for your donation.
Then we have Joyce Donhar. Is that how you pronounce it? Donhar. $100. Thank you so much, Joyce. This is in honor of Sister Darlene Donhar Brown. Thank you so much for your donation as well.
And $100 from Carol Roderick, and that's for in memory of Diane Anderson. Thank you for your pledge to the Crusade.
Then another one here is from Michael Wellen, $100, and this is in memory of Freddie Wellen, also Tom Disney. Thank you so much for your donation as well.
And $100 from Jane Morgan in honor of Donald Morgan. Thanks for your donation to the Crusade.
Yeah, great donations. Keep them coming. Call the number that you see on your screen there. It's 502-582-7511. Also, toll-free number 1-888-382-7511. Also, there's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, or just scan the code on your screen.
Yep.
And you'll be able to send your donation that way, WHAScrusade.org. We're taking those donations all morning long. You can also join us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of the social media. platforms. And look, even if it's just a penny, I mean, a penny
Absolutely.
can still go a long
It sure
way.
does.
Like whatever you may have can really change a child's life here.
There's the tote board total that you're seeing. We're at $1,953,475.81 for the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. That number will continue to climb as we move through the day on Sunday here. And by 6:57, you'll know what the total is right before the NBA playoff games happen here on WHAS 11. So make sure that you're tuned in for that total so that you know where we are this year for the 72nd WHAS
I bet
Crusade
we'll
for
hit
Children.
2 million before we're.
We got a couple more hours. I won't be surprised.
Yeah,
it'll
we're
be
about to start waking up more too.
Yep.
Spread the word. Tell your friends to call. We'll take it all.
582-7511, 1-888-382-7511. And once you've made that pledge, go ahead and write your check and mail it in to 520 West Chestnut Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. Well, one of the great things that we get to do is look back on some past Crusades. And thanks to Joe Federley, we've gone way back with some past Crusades. We're going to go back to 2003 right now and hear from Kenny Rogers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Rogers!
Show me a bar with a good-looking woman, then just get out of my way. Now show me the jukebox, I'll tell you what songs you should play. Now sooner or later, a few shots of bourbon, and I'll think of something to say. Whoa, I can take her or leave her, but I'd like to take her away. Liquor and music, a good combination, if you got a love on the brain. I never knew two women who acted the same. 'Cause some want to drink first, and some want to just sit and talk. Whoa, it's 2 in the morning, I'm running and she wants to walk. Something's got a hold on me, it's cheap but it ain't free. Love or something like it's got a hold on me. That's when I ask her, my place or your place, I hope I'm not out of line. Now I asked the wrong thing of just the right woman this time. 'Cause she knew a hotel, she even had a name we could sign. Whoa, the cheaper the grapes are, the sweeter the taste of the wine. Something's got a hold on me, it's cheap but it ain't free. Love or something like it's got a hold on me. Something's got a hold on me, it's cheap but it ain't free. Love or something like it's got a hold on me. Love or something damn near like it's got a hold on me. Thank you very much and welcome. You will be happy to know, no doubt, that is the loudest song I know. My God, if you could just see the expressions on your faces. I started laughing in the middle of that song. I was standing over here singing to this group of people. I looked out, I swear to God, I saw 300 people looking at me like. You know what's great though? Last year, I would have never seen these expressions because traditionally, if you go to many concerts, and I will never understand this as long as I live, for some dumb reason, they always keep it dark from here back, and you can never see your audience. And it dawned on me one night, my God, these people could leave and I wouldn't even know it. So I had to put these special lights in so I could watch you watch me. I am at this point. I am at this point unconvinced that was a smart move. If you could see the things I can see from here, some of you would be embarrassed. I have to show you this. It is not my nature to pick on individuals as a rule, but I cannot pass this up. There is a lady here tonight, and I'm not going to tell you where she is, so don't ask me. Okay, she's on the 8th row. She cannot be 20 feet from the front of this stage with the biggest binoculars I have ever seen in my life. What are you trying to see? I'm going to be over here a lot tonight. I don't know about you guys. I think binoculars in the first 10 rows are an invasion of privacy. I don't care where you are. You know what else? The guys in the band and I started laughing about this the other night because I'm telling you, I'm convinced that halfway through this show, I can tell from here with these special lights, married couples from unmarried couples. Now that sounds silly, but you watch. We start singing the love songs. The unmarried couples, they lock up like, oh my God, this is forever. But keep your eyes on those married couples. They accidentally brush against each other. It's like, get away from me. 7 kids is enough for one family, don't you think? Hey, we were in St. Louis the other night. I'm singing through the years. I look down, there's a little elderly couple seated right here. No question in my mind, this couple had been married 50 years if they had been married a day. Well, she got so excited about the lyrics to Through the Years. She reached over, put her arms through her husband's arms, laid her head on his shoulder. I actually heard that man say to his wife, I didn't like that song then, and I don't like it now. What a joy he must be to live with. You know? So let me tell you guys what you can expect tonight. We're going to do most of the hits I think you expect to hear. We've gone back, picked up a bunch of old hits we haven't done in years, and we have some new songs you've never heard before. So all in all, it should be a lot of fun. This song was from an album 4 years ago? 4 years ago? 10. It's close. He was sitting on a bar stool, a picture from a cheese song. She'd been standing at the jukebox, dropping quarters all night long. So he said, tell me, are you lonely? And is there some place that we can go? She said, cowboy, you know I'm lonely, but there's something you should know. If you want to find gold, go looking in the mountains. If you want to find silver, go digging in stone. And if you want to find heaven, go reading in the Bible. If you want to find love, go looking at home. She touched the gold ring on his finger. She held it to the jukebox light. And she said, stranger, think what you're losing if you leave here with me tonight. So he pulled her body closer. She felt and he said, thank you for the lesson. And if you need me, I'll be at home. 'Cause if you want to find gold, go looking in the mountain. If you want to find silver, go digging in stone. And if you want to find heaven, go reading in the Bible. If you want to find love, go looking at home. If you want to gonna find love, love, love. Go looking at home. I can't remember when you weren't there, or when I didn't care for anyone but you. I swear we've been through everything there is. Can't imagine anything we've missed. Can't imagine anything the two of us can do. Through the years, you never let me down. You turned my life around. The sweetest days I found with you. Through the years, I've never been afraid. I've loved the life we've made, and as long as it's okay, I'll stay with you through the years. Through the years, when everything went wrong, together we were strong. I know that I belong right here with you. Through the years, I never had a doubt. We'd always work things out. I've learned what life's about by loving you through the years. You painted up your lips and rolled and curled your tinted hair. Ruby, are you contemplating going out somewhere? The shadow on the wall tells me the sun is going down. Oh, Ruby. It wasn't me that started that old crazy Asian game. But I was proud to go into my patriotic show. And yes, it's true that I'm not the man I used to be. Oh, Ruby. That doesn't even rhyme, for God's sake. She's leaving now, 'cause I just heard the slamming of the door. The way I know I've heard it slam 100 times before. And if I could move, I'd get my gun and put her in the ground. Oh, Ruby. That is so bad. Oh, Ruby. Never mind. I'll do it myself. For God's sakes, turn around. I will not soon forget that group. That is the worst anyone has ever sung this. Now, let me put this in perspective for you. They sang it better in Quebec. They don't even speak English in Quebec. like bluegrass music, but it's an amazing thing that's happened. In the last couple of years, 2 years ago, bluegrass music became pretty much the dominant force in country music. It's a wonderful art form. Did you see Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Or you heard the album? This music started in Ireland and Scotland and came down through the Kentucky, through Virginia and Kentucky. A guy named Bill Monroe got a hold of it. This is a song from the new album. It's called Back to the Well. When my home is so far away and I miss you so bad it hurts, when I feel like I've lost my way, I know where to go to quench my thirst. Back to the well for a drink of cool, cool water. Back in the arms where my heart first fell. Back to the place my love and cup runs over. Back to my love, back to the well. Across the ocean and around the world, I've logged 1,000,000 country miles, but I always come back to the girl who makes it all worthwhile. Back to the well for a drink of cool, cool water. Back in the arms where my heart first fell. Back to the place my love and cup runs over. Back to my love, back to the well. Back to the well for a drink of cool, cool water. Back in the arms where my heart first fell. Back to the place my love and cup runs over. Back to my love, back to the well. Back to my love, back to the well. You know, bluegrass music in its purest form was really written for all acoustic instruments, and I think particularly for the fiddle. And I promise you this, that song does not do our fiddle player justice. Say hello, if you will, welcome, and listen close to Amber Randall. Listen to this. She's beautiful, she plays great, can't sing a note. just when you thought I had run out of hits. Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama called him Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. Now he was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. And I took care of Tommy, 'cause he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. And I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up, met him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yellow's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back, he let him have it all. When Tommy left the bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak, I couldn't turn the other cheek. Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man." Everyone considered him the coward of the county. Daytime friends and nighttime lovers, hoping no one else discovered where they go or what they do in their secret hideaway. Well, daytime friends and nighttime lovers, they don't want to hurt the other, so they love in the nighttime and shake hands in the light of day. It's over, there's no peace of mind, just a longing for the way things should have been. And she wondered why some men never find that a woman needs a lover and a friend. Daytime friends and nighttime lovers, hoping no one else discovers where they go or what they do in their secret hideaway. Well, daytime friends and nighttime lovers, they don't want to hurt the other, so they love in the nighttime and shake hands in the light of day. Daytime friends. I was in the middle of singing Daytime Friends the other night, and I did something that I promise you I seldom do. I checked out. I mean, my mind went to the Bahamas. And I started thinking, I don't know why, I'd never done this before. I started thinking about a particular group of songs that I'd recorded. And for the first time, I realized that if you take songs like Ribbon James, Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town, Coward of the County, Daytime Friends, The Gambler, Lucille, I've had an incredible career singing about dysfunctional families. Now, you know what? That list goes on and on. So, a couple of years ago, I found a song single-handedly proved to me once and for all, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I mean, here's this guy doing everything he can, and he is just on the wrong page. He works hard to give her all he thinks she wants. A 3-car garage and her own credit card. He slips in late and wakes her up with a kiss goodnight. If he could only read her mind, she'd say, buy me a rose, call me from work, open a door for me, what would it hurt? Show me you love me by the look in your eyes. These are the little things I need the most in my life. Now the days turn into years of feeling all alone, and she can't help but wonder what she's doing wrong. And lately she'd try anything to turn his head. Would it make a difference if she'd say, buy me a rose, call me from work, open a door for me, what would it hurt? Show me you love me by the look in your eyes. These are the little things I need the most in my life. And the more that he lives, the less that he tries to show her the love that he holds inside. And the more that she gives, the more that he sees. This is a story of you and me. So I bought you a rose on the way home from work to open the door to a heart that I hurt. I hope you notice by the look in my eyes, I'm gonna make things right for the rest of your life. And I'm gonna hold you tonight. Do all those little things for the rest of your life. And I'm gonna hold you tonight. Now you can say what you want to about that concept, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. But I started that song and every woman in here went,
Kenny Rogers from the 2003 Crusade for Children. Good morning, I'm Steve Kirkland along with Matt Breland, and we're glad that you're here on Crusade Sunday. It is 4:33 in the morning. You're watching on WHAS TV and listening on News Radio 840, WHAS. During Kenny, we got a pledge in from Angelica and her charity bracelets. She was on the Crusade overnight for many years. She would sing, and she makes bracelets and sells them. for the Crusade for Children, and she has raised $300 for this year's crusade.
Wow.
So thank you
Great.
very much. Understand that she's graduating from college.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable. So thank you for that pledge there.
Yeah, definitely. Just keep on calling, folks. I mean, the day is starting to pick up, now that we're starting to get closer into the later parts of our Sunday morning. Well, I shouldn't even say later.
It's still the early part of Sunday
It still is
morning.
the early part.
It's
right.
late to us.
It is, yeah. Yeah, call the number that you see on your screen. You can donate now, 502-582-7511. Toll-free number is 1-888-382-7511. There's also Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Scan the QR code that you see on your screen. That will take you directly to WHAScrusade.org. That way you can send in your donation like that as well. And also you can keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social media platforms. We're continuing to take your donations here at the Crusade. 72 years.
72 years. 4:35, we're creeping towards 5 a.m. We'll be with you until 6. Then at 6 o'clock, there'll be some memorials that will run on your TV screens from folks that have passed away and left money to the Crusade for Children. And then some past performances play as well as there. But our operators stay here during that time and are willing and able to take your telephone call for your pledge, the Crusade for Children at 582-7511 or 1-888-382-7511. And that tote board total continues to climb. We're at $1,982,053.53 for your 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. Matt, what do you think so far, your first crusade?
This is great. I really enjoyed the magic.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
great poetry too. And it's just been such a great, I just love the cause too.
Absolutely.
Like, really just every penny counts.
Yep.
And it goes towards such a great benefit. And the fact that this has been able to go on for 72 years, I love that Joe was able to take us down memory lane and see just how each crusade, it's a little different each year, and so I would love for us to bring back some of that,
wouldn't it be
spectacle,
fun?
the
Yeah.
glam,
Yep.
and the big intros. I think that should be our plan for next year.
Sure,
That
sure.
would be great.
Well, I'm willing if you are. So
Yeah,
we'll see
All
what
right,
happens.
we'll see what kind of fancy, sparkly
What we can
outfits
come
we
up
can
with.
dig up.
All right. Well, you mentioned the Cowboy Poet, and Danny Lee Barry is still here. So, Danny, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to cheat. I've got a couple here that I've written, but I haven't got them committed to memory. Like I told you a while ago, I'm short on commitment and even shorter on memory. So I'm just going to read these to you. I think you'll like them. This first one is called "The Blessing in the Storm," and it came to me on a trail ride weekend at Brown County, and it rained and it rained and it rained. So about 4 a.m. I wrote this down while I'm sitting under my lean-to in the pouring rain. So, The Blessing in the Storm. As I sit here listening to a gentle rain and feel a calmness in its soft refrain, I remember a lesson learned long ago, a lesson I think all should know. Growing up, working the land often was not easy. Life and the weather weren't always sunny and breezy. One year was very hard, for we were short on rain. The weather was determined to destroy what we had gained. I questioned my dad about the rain. Why can't we just have some? He replied, our place is not to question, but have faith, the blessing will come. We did our best to continue our work, but no matter how hard we'd try, our efforts all seemed futile, for the ground was hard and dry. My dad said, son, because of this dry land, there's little we can farm. So let's put our work in tearing down and rebuilding that old barn. I remember thinking that work would prove to be in vain, for it would be of no use if we didn't get the rain. One night in bed, I prayed to God, please send a gentle rain to heal the land and relieve our life of the toil and the pain. I was awakened that night by thunderous lightning. The barn became one flame. I was terrified as I looked out. Then someone called my name. My dad said, son, this storm is like I've never seen. We must not be in its wake. To the cellar we'll go and wait it out, and there we will be safe. When morning came, the sky was clear. From the cellar we came out. I was confused at what I saw. There was destruction all about. I told my dad that I had prayed for just a gentle rain. Why would God send this to us and add more to our pain? Dad said, son, do not despair. Though our home be tattered and torn, you will see the land will heal, for God sent blessing in the storm. Shared that with a friend of mine, and unknowingly, just a week or two before, they'd went through a storm and destroyed almost everything they had. And that was a blessing to him to hear that. So this is a little bit fun. It's called The Talker. There was a fella in our outfit that I will never forget. He didn't do a lick of work. What he mostly did was sit. Don't know why the boss kept him. He surely wasn't worth his salt. I guess the boss just liked to hear him, because what he did best was talk. I swear he could spin a yarn like none you've ever heard. There wasn't anything he couldn't do, except maybe fly like a bird. He said he would be famous, so full of himself. Said there'd be books written about him, and you could read one from the shelf. There wasn't anywhere he hadn't been, and nothing he hadn't done. If there was a hero in any tale, he was sure to be the one. He claimed he rode with Davy Crockett and survived the Alamo, that he was a headliner with Buffalo Bill and a star of his Wild West show. Then there was the time he spent with Wyatt Earp, told he was Wyatt's best pal. Said the Clantons wouldn't have won the fight if he hadn't been at the OK Corral. Would have won the fight if he hadn't been at the OK Corral. Every time he opened his mouth, the tales got bigger, I swear. He had busted 1,000 broncs and wrestled a dozen bear. The Transcontinental Railroad, now there's one I liked. When the railroads came together, he drove the final spike. He said he rode for the Pony Express, rode down every horse. When they were through, he delivered the mail, all on foot, of course. No mountain too high to climb, no river too wide to cross. When it came to words, he was never at a loss. So if telling tales and spreading lies made him some kind of a crook, then he would certainly be at the top of the list if he were in a history book. You all know people like that. There you go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Danny. We appreciate it. The Cowboy Poet right there. We'll have a little bit more for him before we hit 6 o'clock this morning. As the Crusade for Children rolls on, the 72nd annual WHAS Crusade for Children. 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511 is how you get in touch with us. Or you can get in touch with us other ways without having to call.
That's right, yeah. Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, you know, those are the common ways that people send in donations these days. And we'll take them. Any way that you can send it over, we will take it. We've got to get that to 2 million.
We do.
Before 6 a.m. And it looks like we just have jumped up. Yeah, I think we're going to hit it very soon.
We're at $1,996,807.40 for your 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children.
Yeah.
And hey, Matt, if Kenny Rogers didn't sing your favorite song in the last set, maybe he'll sing it in this one.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Let's
go back to 2003. Here's Kenny Rogers Part 2.
I want to do a really special song for you right now. You know, our country finds itself in a pretty strange predicament right now. And we have guys who are overseas. And first of all, I will tell you on record, it's not my place nor my position to decide whether or not we should be overseas fighting this war. But I think once these guys get over there, we really should sponsor and support these guys. I don't know how many of you have family members over there or know someone who does, but I mean, it's touched all of our lives in a very deep and personal way. And I am next Wednesday going to host a show in Florida welcoming back General Franks, and it's a pretty exciting moment because a lot of country acts are going to be there, and it's a chance for us to say thank you. And you know, I will tell you that while it's true that our country's probably only lost about 150 people, which is phenomenal in a war, to those 150 families, it's the ultimate sacrifice. This song was written by a guy named Steve Warner, who is a great country artist in his right, and a guy named Billy Kirsch. You know, it takes a great songwriter to put you in a place you've never been, in the mind of someone you don't know, and make you feel their pain and their sorrow and their loneliness. And this is a song written specifically, I think it does. I have to tell you a statistic that I heard the other day that was just phenomenal to me. It said the average age of the kids over in Iraq is 19 and a half. And that less than 20% of those kids had ever been over 400 miles from their home. And now they're in the wrong place for the right reasons. And this is a song that really touches on what I think is one of the true dangers of this, and that's the loneliness that takes place when you're in a country like this. Watch the screen. It's called I'm Missing You. By the time you read this letter, I'll be gone. I'm not the man I was when I left home. By the time you see my face, I will have aged much more than the passing of the day. This many miles might as well be the moon. It's a desolate place, and I'm missing you. My heart can't believe what my eyes they have seen. God knows what's pulling us through. In a world gone insane, I whisper your name. I'm missing you. Sometimes in the quiet of the night, I reach for you as if you're by my side. When everything around me seems all wrong, the thought of holding you keeps me hanging on. This many miles might as well be the moon. It's a desolate place, and I'm missing you. My heart can't believe what my eyes they have seen, and God knows what's pulling us through. In a world gone insane, I whisper your name. Oh, I'm missing you. In a world gone insane, I whisper your name. I'm missing you. Thank you. I have found a song about friendship. I think we can all agree that it is particularly difficult in your lifetime to find one person that you can call and truly count on to be your friend. I promise you this, it is equally as difficult to find a song that says it well. This song is called Have a Little Faith in Me. Now there's a place in the middle of this song for you guys to sing. Sorry, I swore I wasn't going to laugh. We'll do it a couple of times so that you can learn it. Please do not sing it until you've learned it, especially that group. Have a little faith in me. That's actually all there is to your part. Have a little faith in me. Okay, a chance to redeem yourselves. Not quite ready, huh? Okay, back in the back. Have a little faith in me. We saved all the rest of you guys for the hard part. You have to clap and sing. Fat chance, huh? When the road gets dark, you can no longer see. Let my love throw a spark, girl. Have a little faith in me. When the tears that you cry are all you can believe, I will reach out with these loving arms. If you have a little faith in me, have a little faith in me. Have a little faith, sing it out. Nobody can hear you anyway. Have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. When your secret heart cannot speak so easily, I will help you with a whispered star. If you have a little faith in me. When your back's against the wall, look around, you will see. I will catch you. I will catch you when you fall. If you have a little faith in me, have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me. Diana Ross, Central Park, 1989. Here we go. Have a little faith. Yeah, I wasn't there either. Huh? Blatantly and flagrantly laughed at Gamblers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and for whatever personal and obviously selfish reasons chose not to watch Gambler 5 at all, I am not that easy to escape. You might as well kick back. We're going to show you all 5 of them. It takes 4 hours and 13 minutes. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us. And he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made my life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know run, you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Now every gambler knows the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. So when he'd finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run, and you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for count when the deal is done. Know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for count when the deal is done. You don't know what song this is? In a bar in Toledo, across from the depot, on a bar stool she took off her ring. I thought I'd get closer, so I walked on over. I sat down and asked her name. When the drinks finally hit her, she said, I'm no quitter, but I finally quit living on dreams. I'm hungry for laughter, and here ever after, I'm after whatever the other life brings. In the mirror I saw him, and I closely watched him. I thought how he looked out of place. He came to the woman who sat there beside me. He had a strange look on his face. Now his big hands were calloused. He looked like a mountain. For a minute I thought I was dead. But he started shaking. His big heart was breaking. And he turned to the woman and said, you picked a fine time to leave me. So now you want to sing. Okay. Why don't you guys just rest up for a minute? I know how tiring that must have been to you. And for God's sakes, quit swaying. I mean, you sat perfectly still through this entire show. I started this song and little by little, everybody in here. You look like a room full of Ray Charles. You got the right one, baby. After he left us, I ordered more whiskey. I thought how she'd made him look small. And from the lights of the barroom to a rented hotel room, we walked without talking at all. Now she was a beauty, but when she came to me, she must have thought I lost my mind. 'Cause I couldn't hold her, the words that he told her kept coming back time after time. You're gonna sing it, sing it. You picked a fine time. Much better with 400 time the hurt won't heal. Everybody in the top, you pick the fine time really loud. You pick the fine. One last time, everybody all together now. You pick the fine time to leave me, Lucy. For the benefit of any of you who may have seen the show before, I will explain this moment of obvious confusion. For 20 years, literally, since the night I recorded Lucille, every night when I finish singing that song, I lay my microphone down on the stool, I turn around, I wave goodbye, I go over, I hide behind the black curtain, and I pretend I'm not coming back. Well, I am sick of that. Now, you know why? Because if you're honest in your heart, you have to admit encores are so silly. It's not like you don't know I'm coming back. You know what else? The older you get, the more you learn to save those very valuable steps. I have visions of them rolling me out here someday in a wheelchair and me saying, you picked a fine time to, they just roll me out again. Hey, before we leave, help me say thank you, if you will, to 8 very talented people. Repeat after me. Steve, Brian, Warren, Amber, Lynn, Chuck, Randy, and Gene. And what was Brian's name again? Oh, you guys are good. I'm going to do something. Okay, for 20 years, ever since I started singing Lucille, I've thrown away tambourines to the people in the front, and the people in the back get nothing. So turn up the lights. These are going to the back of the room. Okay, wait. I'm going to throw this to the balcony, okay? Now, here's the deal. Here, let's have a legal understanding. If this is a foot short, let it go. You know what I love about Frisbees? They don't go very far. Jump, you sucker. Okay, I'm going for accuracy now. Okay, hold on. Hold on. The guy in the purple shirt. The guy in the purple shirt. Yep. Face that way because it's a trick shot. I'm gonna throw it way out here. They're gonna think they're gonna get it, but it's gonna slide into you this way, okay? Like I have a clue where this is going. Stand up, face that way. Yep, you, face that way. Face that way. East, whatever that is. Okay. Here we go. Wait. Hold it. Yeah, I was shocked too. Hey, I just want to take a second and say thanks to WHAS Crusade for Children. This is such a wonderful cause. You know, I am. And the Neville brothers, how wonderful were they? You know, and Lance Burton. I mean, it's a great thing that you guys invited me to be here, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Before we leave tonight, we'll talk to somebody back there. I want to make a $1,000 donation myself, and we'll donate to the kids here. Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. You have made me what I am, and I am yours. My love, there's so many ways I want to say I love you. Let me hold you in my arms forevermore. You have such a fool, and I am so lost in your love. And whoa, we belong together. Won't you believe in my soul? Lady, for so many years I thought I'd never find you. You have come into my life and made me whole. Forever, let me wake to see you each and every morning. Let me hear you whisper softly in my ear. And in my eyes, I see no one else but you. There's no other love like our love. And yes, oh yes, I'll always want you near me. I've waited for you for so long. And later, your love's the only love I need. And beside me is where I want you to be. 'Cause my love, there's something I want you to know. You're the love of my life. You're my lady. Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain. Every beat of my heart, we got something going on. Tender love is blind, it requires a dedication. All this love we feel, need no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other, Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between, how can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other, from one lover to another, I can't live without you if the love is gone. Everything is nothing if you've got no one, and you just walk through the night, slowly losing sight of the real thing. But that won't happen to us, and we got no doubt. Too deep in love, and we got no way out, and the message is clear. This could be the year for the real thing. No more will you cry, baby, I will hurt you never. Start and end as one, in love forever, and ride it together. sail away with me. Thank you very much and good night. Thanks for your help for the WHAS Crusade for Children. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. Good night, everybody.
All right, that is Kenny Rogers. That's one heck of a show.
Yeah.
Back there at the Kentucky Center for the Arts, the Whitney Hall there. Kenny Rogers from Crusade 2003. And we'll have, Kenny's one of my favorite performers who's been here for the
that was
Crusade.
a big crowd,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
from
The Whitney was
2003.
full. I think Lance Burton was there that year, too. So.
Okay.
Well, we were wondering if we were going to do it, and it looks like we have.
We sure
We're
did.
over $2 million. We're at $2,050,486.86 for the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. It is 5:11 here, and it's a Crusade Sunday morning. I'm Steve Kirkland along with Matt Breland, and you're watching the Crusade on WHAS 11, listening on News Radio 840 WHAS in Louisville. And we're glad you're here, and we want you to be a part of it too.
Yeah, and you can be. It's easy to do so. All you have to do is call the number that you see on your screen, 502-582-7511, or the toll-free number, 1-888-382-7511. Can also take payments, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
We'll take it however people want to give it to
Yeah,
us, right?
Any way you can.
The website, WHAScrusade.org, or you can mail your check to 520 West Chestnut Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202. And if you donate over $100, we'll send a uniformed sheriff's deputy out to your house later this afternoon to pick that up. The Crusade for Children has raised over $217 million for special needs Kentucky children in Kentucky. Boy, it's early and we've been up for a while.
Yeah,
So.
we've been pulling it out through the night for sure. It's been a fun night though.
It has.
We definitely have kept ourselves entertained. Lots of good guests that we had here earlier today.
We
Went
do.
through Crusade's Past.
Yeah.
Was really good. Yeah.
We still have the Cowboy Poet with us here. Danny Lee Barry is with us. And Danny Lee, you've got another story for us.
Yeah, this is a little long, but bear with me. I think it's worth listening to. I mentioned it earlier to the guys if you didn't see the earlier part of the broadcast. But this poem inspired me to start writing my own poetry. And it's my favorite Western poem that I've ever heard or read or listened to. It's called The Old Nighthawk. And I'm going to take a couple of minutes to give you a little history lesson which will help you picture the story as I tell it. And the era of the cattle drives and the roundups and that very romantic period of Western history didn't really last that long, about 20 years, from just about the time the Civil War ended till the late 1880s. And as the cattle industry grew, that was a big deal. And sometimes the ranchers would gather their cattle and drive them several hundred miles or sometimes 1,000 miles or more. And depending on the size of the herd and the distance they had to travel, it would take a varying number of men and horses to do that job. And there you had the trail boss, you had the chuck wagon cook, which was the doctor and the counselor and everything rolled together. You had the punchers, the cowpokes that took care of the cattle. And these guys were in the saddle sometimes 16, 18 hours a day. And Hollywood gets it wrong. The guys didn't ride the same horse all the time. And each cowhand had a string of horses that they used. Again, depending on the length, time, size of the herd, they may have 6, 8, or even 10 horses that they rode. They would rotate those out throughout the day, and over a course of several days, each horse would have their turn. And somebody had to take care of those horses, and that job fell on the Nighthawk at night. Very lonely job, all by himself, no relief man. And the cattle were watched through the night by the night guards, the night herds. They would work in shifts, a few hours on, have a relief man get some sleep. There might be 2 or 3 or more of those guys, depending on how many cattle there were. The wrangler was a young kid, learning the job, taking his licks, and he was in charge of keeping the horses together during the day and helping in the morning to get these horses together. But this is about the Nighthawk, and it was usually an older fella, past his prime, pretty much the last job short of riding fence. This was written by Bruce Kiskadden in the late 1800s, and I think he probably talked to several of those guys to come up with this story. And it's very powerful, I believe. I think you'll like it. This is the old Nighthawk. I'm up tonight in the Pinnacles Bold where the Rimrock towers high, where the air's clear, the wind blows cold. There's only the hosses and I. The valley swims like a silver sea in the light of the big full moon. Strong and clear there comes to me the lilt of the first guard's tune. Fire at camp is burning bright. Cook's got more wood than he needs. They'll be telling some windy tales tonight of races and big stampedes. I'm getting too old for that line of talk. The desperados they've known, their wonderful methods of handling stock, the fellers they seen get throwed. I guess I'm a dog that's had his day, though I am still quick and strong. My hair and my beard have both turned gray. I reckon I've lived too long. None of them know me but that old cook Ed, and never a word he'll say. My story will stick in his old gray head till the break of Judgment Day. What's that I see you walking fast? It's a hoss a slipping through. He's trying to make it out through the pass. Come mighty near doing it too. Get back there. What are you trying to do? You hadn't a chance to bolt. Oh boy, I was wrangling a bunch like you before you was even a colt. It's later now and the guard has changed. One voice is clear and strong. He's singing a tune of the old time range. I always did like that song. It takes me back when I was young. The memories run through my head of the times I've heard that old song sung by voices now long since dead. Yeah, I've traveled better than half my trail. I'm well down the further slope. I've seen my dreams and ambitions fail, and memory replaces hope. I reckon it's true, for I've heard it said that only the good die young. Tough old cusses like me and Ed must stay till the last dog's hung. I used to shrink when I thought of the past, some of the things I've known. I took to drink, but now at last I'd far rather be alone. Strange how quick the night passes by, for I live in the days of old. Up here was only the hosses and I, up in the Pinnacles Bowl. 2 short years I ceased to roam, led a contented life. And the trouble came and I left my home. I never have heard of my wife. The years I spent in a prison cell when I went by another name. You see, life is a mixture of heaven and hell. The fellow that plays the game. They better lay off that Wrangler kid. They've give him about enough. He looks like a partner of mine once did. He's the kind of man can't bluff. I find they're making a big mistake if they want to get him over hit. They'll give him as good as an even break, or I'm taking a hand, you bet. There in the east is the morning star. It shines with a fiery glow. So it looks like the end of a big cigar, but it hadn't got far to go. Just like the people that make a flash, they don't stand much of a run. They come busting in with a sweep and a dash when most of the work is done. Well, you can see the east is getting gray. I'll gather the horses soon. And faint from the valley far away comes the lilt of the last guard's tune. Yeah, life is like the night herd song as the long years come and go. You start out with a swing that's free and strong. You finish up tired and slow. Well, I reckon the horses are all here. I can see that T-bar blue. And that buckskin horse with the one split ear. I got them all. 92. Just listen to how they roll them rocks. Sure are some rough old trails. Of course, if they can't slide down on the hocks, they can coast along on the tails. Wrangler kid is out with his rope. He seldom misses a throw. Will he make a cowhand? Well, I hope. To give him half a show. The throwing a rope corral around the horses crowd in like sheep. I reckon I'll swallow my breakfast down. Try to forget and sleep. Yeah, I've lived my life. I've took a chance, regardless of law or vow. I've played the game. I've had my dance. And I'm paying the fiddler now.
That's a cowboy poet, Danny Lee Barry. Thank you, Danny Lee. Appreciate it.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah, that
It was.
great.
We'll hear from Danny Lee one more time here before we sign off at 6 a.m. this morning. And we'd like for you to be a part of the crusade. 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511 is how you get involved. What I was trying to say before is the Crusade's raised $217 million in the first 71 years of its existence. And 100% of the donations, Matt, help a child in need. And if you donate in Kentucky, the money stays in Kentucky. If you donate in Southern Indiana, the money stays in Southern Indiana. So it really is a unique organization that does good, that there's no overhead. 100% of the donations go to help children.
Right.
There aren't too many, there are no other telethons that can say that, to my knowledge.
Yeah. And, you know, this is one of the biggest telethons in the country, too.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
what I was being told whenever we were getting ready to get this launched. People were saying, you know, this is one of the biggest ones that happens in the country.
It is.
Which is great.
It is.
Which is great.
So I introduced you to some new friends.
Yeah.
You obviously are Cowboy Poet, Danny Lee Barry. You met David Garrard and Ken Abbott and Jimmy McKnight. But you got to meet Jack Fox and Van Vance.
Yeah, what an honor to meet them. Legends, absolutely.
Yeah, Van, who has been at almost every crusade. I think he was not here for the first three, but multi-talented guy. Van did many shows on TV and radio, some of which happened in this very room with high variety. But what a lot of people don't know is Van is a classical guitarist. And Jack Fox and I talked Van last year into bringing his guitar and playing it. Now, Van wasn't comfortable doing that live, so Jack and I caught up with him earlier this week and recorded him. And for those that missed it at 11:30, we thought we'd bring it to you now. Here's Van Vance.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Vance right there. His world premiere right here on the Crusade for Children, playing and singing playing his guitar and singing along there. So very, very blessed to have Van back with us.
Very talented.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's now 5:30. You're watching the Crusade on WHAS 11 and listening on News Radio 840 WHAS. We're glad that you're here, whether you're just getting in or whether you're waking up, getting ready to go to church, or whatever other plans you have.
Getting ready to start your day. You can get started by just calling that number that you see on the screen, 502-582-7511, or toll free at 1-888-382-7511. We also take Cash App, we take PayPal, Venmo. You can just search on those apps, WHAS Crusade, and you can make a donation that way too. We'll take it all. We're already past 2 million, and we're still going.
Still climbing.
Great.
We got a half hour before we're out of here, and some memorials scroll across your screen. And then at 8 a.m., this studio is hopping again with firefighters and folks stopping by to give money to the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. 6:57 tonight, right before the NBA playoffs. The Crusade total will be announced, so make sure that you are listening to that. We've both made a new friend this evening that we didn't know before, Danny Lee Barry. He's our cowboy poet. And Danny Lee, you've got one more story for us.
Yeah, well, some short ones.
All right.
Wrap it up. I'm going to finish up my portion of the night, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here, meet some new people, and it's been a good time for a great cause, and the numbers are up, so we'll just keep it going. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Everybody has a favorite history cowboy, movie star from the West, etc. But everybody from that time era was not famous. And I've done some research and actually found out about a couple of guys that nobody really knows anything about. They weren't famous, didn't really do anything of any significance. Actually, they were just a couple of misfits, and they just were known as Biscuit and Beans. And Biscuit was a short, dumpy guy, and Beans was a tall, skinny fella. And they just went from one misadventure to the next. They liked to drink whiskey a lot and didn't want to work. So they had to work sometimes just to make whiskey money. So to give you an idea of what kind of characters we're dealing with, I'll tell you this story. Well, there was a rancher that needed a ditch dug on his place to divert some water if they had a rainy season. So Biscuit and Beans got the job. So they're out there, it's hot, 95, 100 degrees, sun just boiling down, and they're out there with pickaxes and shovels trying to dig this ditch in that hard ground. And the foreman is sitting up on the hill under the only shade tree in sight with a canteen of cool water, watching them work. Well, this went on for quite a while, and finally Biscuit had enough. And he says to Beans, he said, "How's come we're down here doing all the work? He's sitting up there not doing a cotton picking thing in the shade with cool water just watching us." "Well, I don't know," said Beans. He said, "Well, go up there and ask him." Okay. So Beans gets out of the ditch, throws his shovel over his shoulder, walks up there, and he said, "We got a question for you." Foreman said, "What is it?" He said, "We want to know how come we're doing all the work, dying in this heat, and you're not doing a cotton picking thing, and you're in the shade with cool water." Foreman said, "Well, it's because of ingenuity." "Oh, okay," replies Beans. "What is that?" Foreman said, "Well, I can't really explain it to you. I just have to show you." So he gets up, sets his canteen down at the base of the tree, and puts his hand on the tree. Then he tells Beans, "You take your shovel See if you can hit my hand. Well, okay, he was all up for that. So he drew back with that shovel and let her rip with all he had, and about the time the shovel got there, he moved his hand. Pow! He hits the tree. He sat back down, got another drink of water. So Beans went back down the hill, got back in the ditch, started digging. Biscuit said, what did he say? Beans said, well, he said it was because of ingenuity. Oh, okay, replies Biscuit. Well, what is that? Beans said, well, I really can't explain it to you. I'm going to have to show you. So I'm going to put my hand in front of my face, and you take your shovel and see if you can hit it. So that's the kind of guys we're dealing with. They just weren't too swift. Well, they ran out of whiskey money again, and they decided that they had to find something else to do. And this is actually a poem, not a story about Biscuit and Beans. It's called The Loop Trap, L-O-O-P, The Loop Trap. They're trying to catch this wild horse. Well, there was a big wild stud out on the range who ran quite a large herd. Any thoughts of catching him would certainly be absurd. But Biscuit and Beans thought they could get it done. Besides the money they get, it could be great fun. Well, they've been after him a week plus a few more days. Tried to catch him countless times, a dozen different ways. This particular night, they decided next morning to start at dawn. They couldn't give up now, their whiskey money was all gone. So they got started early and hung a loop trap from a tree. Then got round behind him and pushed, hoping the trap he would not see. Biscuit from the left and Beans from the right. The wild one ran forward. The trap was just in sight. What a stroke of luck. Their plan was working. Straight to the loop he ran. Now he would be stuck. As it was planned, the rope did land quite soundly around his neck, but something was wrong. He ran on. His run had not been checked. The rope went slack, trailed down his back as he kicked up dust behind. Biscuit stood in disbelief, thoughts wrestled in his mind. As their prize ran away, Biscuit did say, that wild one will never be caught. Then Beans said to him, his head tucked to his chin, I forgot to tie the knot. They just can't do anything right. I got one more I want to share with everybody. I don't know who's tuning in late. If you watch through the night, I hope you appreciate what you've heard. All the donations are greatly appreciated, and we're running the numbers up. We passed 2 million, so hopefully we can add a bunch more to that before everything's done today. Everybody talks about the good old days, how great things were and how bad they are now, and that's somewhat true in a lot of cases, but we need to really pay attention to what we've got and what there is. There, in the cowboy culture, there's a phrase called ride for the brand. And what that entails is loyalty, commitment, stick-to-itness. That's not a word, but it's one of my words. Every rancher, every outfit had a brand that marked what they had. Their cattle were branded, their horses were branded, they put it on their property. And if you worked and rode for that outfit, you rode for that brand. And you were dedicated to that. You upheld their honor and took care of things, and you were committed. So I wrote this poem, Ride for the Brand, and I think it's got a good message, and I try to end every presentation with this poem, and it's something to think about. Remember when buffalo swarmed the prairie like bees on a comb of honey? When one good horse is worth so much more than a wallet full of money? Where a handshake was all it took for 2 men to agree? And people lived at a slower pace with more regard for another's need? Remember when the state of your soul was considered a part of your health? And family and friends meant so much more, and the Bible didn't stay on a shelf? Where satisfaction came to a man while watching the setting sun? There was peace in his heart as darkness fell, for an honest day's work was done. Well, don't despair, for if you care to really watch each day, Much of this is still around and not so far away. There are honest hands to shake, good horses to ride, and sunsets we can see. We can take the Bible from the shelf and read, for in this country we are still free. So don't give up. The drive's not done. There is still good in this land. As long as men fear God, do what's right, and always ride for the brand. Thank you all. God bless and smooth trails.
It's Danny Lee Barry, new addition to the WHAS Crusade for Children overnight. Thank you, Danny. We appreciate you being here and sharing your talent, your stories all night long for a great cause here with Crusade. Thank you very much for being here.
Definitely entertaining there all through the night, too.
And we
hope
to see you back next year. 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511. The phone lines have kind of calmed down. It's your time to get in and make a pledge to the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. I'm Steve Kirkland, along with Matt Breland from Good Morning Kentuckiana.
It is good morning time.
I guess you all are, you've been on the air here for about 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, show starts at 5 a.m. Carry it through.
All right. Well, you can check him out Monday, and you can check me out next year here at the Crusade, because that's the next time I'll be on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you get to have the normal alarms.
Yes. Yeah. Thank goodness. I did my share of waking up and being here at 4:30 to work with Wayne Perky, the morning man on WHAS radio for many years, and I like normal alarms.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, our tote board total continues to climb. We're at $2,072,264.19.
Right.
Thank you so much. We want to take a moment and show you how your Crusade dollars work.
Yep. Oh, you got it.
So here at CCK, there are activities that you're going to expect when you think of a summer camp. It's like horseback riding, we have arts and crafts, and a pool.
There you go.
We have a boating and fishing dock. We have a bowling alley. We also have a miniature golf course that's fully wheelchair accessible with adaptable equipment.
This is cool as heck.
At the Center for Courageous Kids, our #1 goal is to serve children living with disabilities at no cost to their family.
When we come up here, we just fell in love with how this camp is laid out, what they do.
It's a very nice place here.
We are hosting a wheelchair family camp, and it's partnered with the Chris Norton Foundation. Chris himself lives life in a wheelchair.
I was playing college football and running down, making a tackle, and I hit the ball carrier head on, suffering a severe spinal cord injury, and I can remember thinking, like, my life is over. One of the biggest eye-opening experiences for me was going to a sports wheelchair camp. And through that camp, I saw all the possibilities for kids living with disabilities to experience all the fun things that you can do. CCK is incredible, and they do such a wonderful job with the kids and the activities, and they really create that environment for kids to flourish. And they're an awesome partner, and we're really glad to be a part of a CCK camp.
My name is Grace Anna Rogers, and I am a camper here at CCK. I got a rare form of dwarfism called Kenradi-Hunerman syndrome. I developed scoliosis and then kyphosis, which makes your back go outward. This place, it's really awesome. I love the messy games. That is so fun. I love the putt-putt, the bowling, and I definitely love where people are able to talk to each other without being judged here. I've wanted to meet people who are dealing with the same stuff that I am dealing with, so that way I just don't feel lonely in this world.
The camp has really connected us to other people that have some of the same struggles that she does. You feel like somebody gets your family. somebody get your kid, and you don't get that everywhere.
I blend in this whole organization because, you know, the people here are all in wheelchairs, and it's really nice.
A lot of these kids, they don't have a community, they don't have a group of friends, and so this place really gives them that hope that, okay, life can be better, it's going to get better, and they kind of have the tools and the belief in themselves to go make it happen.
We have 3 special needs children, and they all happen to have spina bifida. And it means a lot to us that we can come down to a camp. This costs us nothing. It is just amazing that
Thank you.
the crusade reaches beyond the city of Louisville and comes all the way down here to the outskirts of Bowling Green in a small town to take care of a camp that is designed for what your mission is, and that's to take care of special children.
Everything that the child gets to do here is because of the faithful support that we've received from WHAS Crusade for Children. Those funds have gone to almost every single corner of camp and has made it possible for us to be able to offer the highest quality care free of charge to every parent, every child, every guardian that comes through our gates.
Okay, well, that was a great way just to show you exactly where your money goes. It's always for a good cause. You know, there's always so much to give to these to the children that are in need.
Yes.
And you know, that's the entire reason why we're doing this. Why
It
we've been
is.
doing this for all these hours and raising this much money too. I mean, like, we're already past 2 million and we're still going. I think we'll be up to 2.1 million here within the next few minutes.
we're getting
probably.
close.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
Yeah. Now that we're getting our next day started. And just a reminder, you can donate just by calling that 502-582-7511, toll free, 1-888-382-7511. And of course, like, the best ways and the quickest ways also are Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Apple Pay, or just scan the QR code that you see on your screen there. That will take you directly to WHAScrusade.org. That way you can donate securely. And if you want to make a generous donation of $100 or more, a sheriff deputy will pick that up today later on.
I wanted to have Tony Cruz on. He usually does the 8 a.m. Segment here on the Crusade for Children. He has retired from WHAS Radio and couldn't be here this year. He wrapped up a 33-year career with WHAS Radio a couple weeks ago. 21 years as the morning man on WHAS. Asked him why he's going to retire, and he said because he can't wake up that early and be coherent anymore. So don't blame him. But I did get the chance to sit down with Tony a couple weeks ago and talk to him about his time at WHAS and some thoughts on the Crusade. Here's that interview. We're with Tony Cruz, who is wrapping up his career at WHAS Radio. How many years, Tony?
32 in all. 33.
33. Okay. Wow. You don't even remember. How many years?
Right. That's why I'm retiring.
How many years did you do the morning show?
21 years.
21 years.
21 great years.
Where'd you get your start in radio?
Actually, I was a music major at EKU and met a friend. We became tennis buddies after biology class. His name was Dan Garrard. He was in radio. I was changing my career path because I didn't want to continue with, getting my degree in music. So I wound up going inside of a radio station, student station, and I was just like, wow. They just kind of, the light kicked on, and I started obviously working, just pushing tapes, what we call pushing tapes, reel-to-reel tapes back then, to cue up music and things like that. And then wound up getting a chance to be on the air a little bit, give IDs, station IDs, and then went from there to go to the original WKY in Winchester, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I first met at WXLN Radio,
right?
The Christian station in town.
Right.
My church, St. Matthew's Baptist Church, was on the air, tape delay, and I would hand tapes off to you. So that's when our paths first crossed. Then I listened to you when WXLN became WZKY,
yeah, Kiss 104.
Yeah. You were on in the mornings with Frosty Stillwell.
Yeah.
When did you decide you wanted to come to WHAS?
from the time I got in radio, really. I mean, once I listened to WHAS. My parents, my senior year in high school, moved to Nashville, and I would keep in contact with just, the feel of Louisville by listening at night to Vance and Milton Metz. And then I went to EKU, and of course I didn't think radio would be my career in Nashville between going to EKU and everything else. But once I started doing that, my wife and I would listen to mystery radio theater on WHAS when we come back home from her parents, and I would still listen to WHAS from time to time. And then all of a sudden, it occurred to me, along when I was about WXLN days in the 80s, around 86 or 87, somebody asked me if you could get your dream job, what would it be? I said, well, either to, when Van Vance retired, to get the sports talk shift, or when Wayne Perky retires, to get the morning drive shift. But I never figured that in a million years that would happen. And a guy named Terry Dismore, who worked at WXLN at the time, had moved on to WHAS and told me, I'm getting ready to leave here. I've got another opportunity, but I know you've always wanted to work at WHAS, and here's your chance. So October of '92, I started, and the rest is, I guess, history. Kind of worked my way up.
You mentioned Wayne Perky, Van Vance. Yep. I don't know about you, but I didn't really realize who I was working with when I was working with Wayne and Van and Milton Metz,
right?
Jack Fox and Doug McKelvin, coming off that dynasty era of WHAS radio. What was it like stepping into Van's shoes?
Nobody can step into his shoes. Let's start there, because his style was just so great. He was a professional's professional. Back then, talk radio was, you asked a question. You were a host, you would ask a question, and the person would give the answer. That was more or less, or you would take responses from the audience about what they thought about things. I was one of the guys, I guess, that kind of, I guess I had to ruffle the feathers or change to try and get my own path, and that would be maybe argue with a few fans on sports or something like that, or just have what we call takes or hot takes now, in that way. And so did that, and that's how it worked. I worked my way in, and Skip Essick liked what I did, so he hired me when Van retired.
So after 33 years, what's it going to feel like to hang the headphones up the final time?
I've been feeling this way for a while, I mean, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning has really been the thing that's kind of pushed me to do this. I want to make sure that I have as healthy a mind as I can in my older age and days, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know, I may work part-time somewhere someday, or might not, just don't know. I know I love people, and I love visiting people, elderly people and things like that, so I'll probably do that a little bit for a while, just go see some people in my church and make sure they're doing okay. Nice.
So this is airing during the Crusade for Children, so let's talk about the Crusade a little bit. I mean, a huge part of WHAS radio and television, it's a crusade for children.
Right.
And you've been a part of the crusade since you started at WHAS. But what's a crusade mean to you?
This thing starts out, just trying to help children, who have no means, or parents that have no means to help their children, with all kinds of different anomalies or situations, and tragic situations in some cases. And then all of a sudden, people started pitching in. And what's interesting about it is, I mean, how caustic we've been as a nation politically, or sometimes maybe even religiously, hopefully not, whatever the case may be. But this is something where we become, I think, more human, where we can understand the pain of a parent or the pain of a child not being able to walk, or having mental issues or health issues of some type or some sort. And yet we come together with the firemen and the other civil servants. They come together and wind up helping these kids that we don't even know. And how much better would America be if we started saying the crusade for America, and let's go the way of the children, you know? Let's put our money towards causes that help people. You know, the times that we don't agree or times we disagree or whatever the case may be, we put that aside and say, I want to be your friend. I mean, when you think about it, you're crossing a lot of boundaries that really are just boundaries that we just make up in our minds a lot of times.
The world would be a better place.
Yeah, it would be a great place.
You have a favorite crusade memory?
Well, I got to tell you, it's always the kids. You know, you always, every year you'll see a child who's been helped and a parent who's been helped, and those heartfelt situations. So that's one of them. But I got to tell you, man, when Peebo Bryson came and sang, and you know, a lot of the singers, you know, you may have heard them, and they, you know, they may not really sound as good as they did on the record.
Peebo did.
That was an amazing night, you know. So from the entertainment standpoint, it was that. But the other things they've always, you know, you always get a lump in your throat when you see what these kids are going through. Yeah. And you know, there's some organizations I've worked with, particularly Boys and Girls Haven, and the Crusade's been very good to them, and we appreciate it because there's so many kids that have some real hard issues, and they need help, you know. And the Crusade has reached out to us, and we're thankful for that.
Well, Tony, thank you for 33 years at WHAS. Thank you for your friendship.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Tony.
You're the best.
All right, bud.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Tony, for 33 years at WHAS Radio and 21 years of getting up at the crack of dawn to wake Kentuckiana up. Matt, we're in our home stretch here.
We are. Yeah, we've made it through the night.
We have.
Through the early morning hours. We're starting to make its way into my normal shift time.
Yeah. Well, we're into it. Yeah, absolutely.
We're into the normal. Now things are starting to feel more on schedule for me.
Yeah. Hey, before we run out of time, I want to thank the students from St. X who were here running camera for us. Guys, great job. Appreciate that. Jordan and Ashlyn back in the control room who made Matt and I look good. We appreciate that. And Max Miners who got everything technically ready for us to go. Appreciate that. Well, we made it to $2.1 million, $2,104,939.97 for the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. Matt, your first year, what do you think?
It was great. You know, I really think that we are bringing a great energy, and that's what you need whenever you're trying to just bring in people to make this type of donation. So I thought that this was spectacular. Of course, the cause is wonderful. You know, it's all for such a great cause. There's so many kids that are in need of services whenever it comes to just, you know, medications or just assistance. And seeing this type of number, honestly, it's amazing. And it was great seeing how everything has evolved from years past, how this has just been a legacy that WHAS has had for the last 72 years. It's incredible. It was really interesting that Joe brought in all of that archive footage too, to see how everything has just evolved over the years with this organization. I mean, it's just great work.
Well, I think you'll learn as you talk to more people throughout the area that either that when you talk to them, either they know someone or they themselves have been touched by the WHAS Crusade for Children. So we've been doing it for 72 years. We'll do it for 72 more. We're glad that you're a part of it. Got about a minute left before we throw it to some memorials. And then at 8 a.m., this place will get into full action with firefighters and folks coming by to drop money in the fish bowls to help the special needs kids of Kentucky and Southern Indiana. You call right now, please, 582-7511, 1-888-382-7511 to help with WHAS Crusade for Children. And please follow up your check. Go ahead and write it. Send it to 520 West Chestnut Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40202.
And remember, you have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Apple Cash. We take it all. And thank you so much to everybody that did send in your donations overnight. I know this was a late night, but we still got a handful of very generous donations. So thank you very much.
We're right at 6 o'clock, $2.1 million. Thank you, Kentuckiana, for helping out the 72nd WHAS Crusade for Children. We'll see you later.